Hello everyone and welcome to the Constructive Criticism Network. This network is here to help you improve at Magic the Gathering at every level. From Pauper Leagues to Top 1000 Mythic, we've got you covered. If you want to hear the entire network, head on over to our sponsor at PureMTGO.com, where you can hear each and every show, each and every week, and check out their sponsor, MTGO Traders, and tell them that the CCMTG Network sent you. Now sit back, enjoy the show. From YouTube, podcasts, and more, here's this week's episode from ConstructiveCriticism.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 110 of the Common Knowledge Podcast. I am your host, Christian, and I am joined by our co-host, Brad.
Hello, Christian. Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays. Before we got too far into this episode, I just want to remind everyone that the Common Knowledge and all podcasts on the Constructive Criticism Network are sponsored by PureMTGO.com. If you would like to support the show, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the Constructive Criticism YouTube channel, and check out our Patreon. With that out of the way, let's get on with the podcast for the week.
Right. How's your holiday week been, buddy?
Yeah, it's been okay. Like I mentioned last week, I work retail, so it's been sort of like everybody running around. This past weekend, the Saturday before Christmas, is pretty widely known as like one of the like 3 or 4th busiest days in all of retail.
Yeah, I believe it.
And I don't know, like I was thinking that maybe because of the pandemic, it would be like a little bit slower, but just not at all.
Has it not been like nothing even happened?
On general business, a lot was affected, but on these like holiday like big days, it seems like people are just in it to win it.
They said, "Screw it, we're getting our stuff."
Pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, but what about you? How's your holiday been?
Pretty good. Like we talked about before. I work today, but then I pretty much have the rest of the year off, so I plan on getting in some pauper games, some paper games, probably some digital games as well. I posted on Twitter that I'm looking to start a project with another in real life buddy of mine. We might start a video series where we play some paper games, some different jank brews or meta decks or what have you. But we're still kind of in the embryonic stages of that.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like tons of fun. I'm sure that I speak for a lot of people whenever I say that I'd be very interested in watching something like that.
Yeah, I definitely have never ventured into the video making arena, but yeah, should be interesting. Should be fun at least to get some paper games in if we can figure out, obviously a way to do it safely, and that's the main concern right now.
Yeah, for sure.
As it should be.
Yes, sir. Well, I guess we can just go ahead and jump right into what decks we've been playing for this past week.
All right.
For me, I've been playing the like new black aggro deck.
Same color.
Yeah. It's the one that's been running around. It's sort of that like aristocrats deck that has like carrion feeders and like whisper squads and stuff like that. I think Joaquim Oliveria, he was the one that I saw post about it on Twitter. And so I've just been ripping his list. I don't have enough reps in with it to really have too much of an opinion, other than it's been pretty fun. I really like aristocrats type stuff, and staying to single color really helps with the aggro portion of things, because that's what I thought that the green-black deck was really missing, was the fact that sometimes you would miss on your mana.
The mana was just terrible, always.
Yeah.
Is this that cat food? Breakfast food, eggs, whatever they're calling it.
And I think the one that you're talking about is the one that plays like it plays like ginger brute and stuff like that, I believe.
Okay.
I'm not too familiar with that one, but I imagine that they're very similar. Alrighty, and with that out of the way, I guess we can get on to our main topic of the week.
Yay!
Yeah, so if you guys remember, last episode we announced a giveaway that was basically, we wanted to see the best holiday-themed decks that people could come up with, and then you and I would select one or two and send some ticks to the person that made it. It's as simple as that. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yep. We got 5 pretty good holiday-themed, Christmas-themed decks here, so it's going to be pretty fun going through them. I like them. I know we picked our winners ahead of time, but you'll just have to wait.
Yeah, and if you guys want to follow along with everything that we're saying, I'm going to make sure to include links to all the deck lists as well as who the decks are by in the description of the video. So I would scroll down to the description, click it, that way you can follow along with us. So I guess the first deck that we wanted to start with was by Big B 44100, which is aptly titled Santa's Other Reindeer.
Now, what did you like about this one, Christian?
Yeah, so with this one, sort of like the theme was that Mrs. Claus basically told Santa after the Rudolph incident, we need to have a second team of reindeer, but reindeer are very hard to come by. So they found all sorts of other animals that could potentially be used in deep snow or something like that as reindeer. For me, though, what makes this deck really, really good is the fact that the Prismatic Piper plays Santa. I like that a lot. But, you got some pretty good cards here. You got Chiller Pillar, which is just one of those great cards. You got Into the North Runner as an elemental ox with haste. Not only a very fun card, but also somewhat on theme. I like it a lot. What about yourself?
I do too. Big Blake went pretty heavy on the snow theme, and I do like that a lot. One thing I've noticed that almost one of our submissions picked up on was Into the North. I enjoy that card a lot. It's very flavorful, very on theme for our Christmas time. Snow Devil, that's one I hadn't considered even going in. Even when we concocted this little giveaway, that wasn't one I even thought about, but I do like it here.
Yeah, I didn't even know that this card existed.
Right. There's a couple of them in these lists.
Yeah. But
yeah, according to Big Blake, it turns out that magic reindeer are difficult to find.
Yeah. Now, I will say that there is one card that I have some questions about. That was Statute of Denial.
I am right there with you, sir.
I don't know if this is supposed to be the naughty list or something like that. Honestly, if I had to give this deck a rating, 1 out of 10, it would be a 7 out of 10. But you could convince me to bump it up a point. A Statute of Denial, if there was a good reason for it.
If it was just about anything else.
Yeah, pretty much. Or even if you were no, this is Santa's naughty list, man. I'd be all right, 8 out of 10 deck.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you could make an argument for that. I'd buy it. And he went teamer. I'm fine. I like the teamer.
Yeah, red, green, splash, blue.
Yep.
Nothing could go wrong with this one.
I'm with you. I think a 7 is about where this deck is. I like it.
Yeah. Now, for the next deck that I was wanting to talk about, unless you had anything else about this deck.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, it's called Holiday Jank. And I think this is by Owl X, if I'm not wrong.
That is correct. Owl X Ogis. I totally butchered that, I'm sure. Yeah. And I will hear about it.
For me, this deck had a lot of potential as a holiday deck. But the thing that sort of held it back was that I think we sort of reached for a few card slots here. So a really good example is while I really like stuff like Ginger Brute, Elvish Herder, Yavimaya Barbarian could be Santa. I have a difficult time really getting into Fire Prophecy, Silent Dart, even Oak Snarl Warrior, Naya Sojourners. All of those cards sort of have a hard time hitting the Christmas theme to me. But maybe they're not. Maybe this isn't all Christmas. This deck is called Holiday Jank.
Yeah.
So maybe those are just referencing holidays that I don't know about.
That's a good point. That passed him. So I think you might be onto something with that, but I'm sure that he has logic behind all of these card picks. But yeah, I think I'm right there with you. The one thing that first caught my eye about this deck and that I really like about it is that it's mostly a singleton list. There's 4 copies of Ginger Brood and Gift the Growth and that sort of thing. Goblin Rock Sled, there's 2 of, but at its heart, I think it's mostly a singleton list, and that's I like the direction he went with that. The singleton pauper has been kind of the hotness for us lately, so I gravitate towards anything that even resembles one ofs.
That was something that I was actually also pretty impressed by. Was like it's not easy, but like it seems like in a competition like this where you're just trying to like have like a theme deck, that just having all four of seems like the easiest way to go.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
Owl was basically like, no man, we're
No, man.
yeah, we're gonna do it. And again, like there are some things that I'm sure I just don't understand. But for me, what makes a winner is every card I understand immediately.
Yeah, I'm with you. You got to give him points or props for putting it out there, though.
Yeah. No man, this was a this one was tons of fun. I did like the one of Gingerbread Cabin.
Yeah, I was just looking at that.
Yeah, it maybe the most holiday card outside of like Into the North.
And you got your ornaments, your Bonders ornaments. Can't go wrong with a Christmas deck that has ornaments on it.
Yeah, you got Ghoul Caller's Bell for I assume this is sort of like sleigh bells, something like that.
Oh, okay. All right. Yep, I can put that together. So, what would you say on your 1 to 10 scale here?
Um, I might give this one like a 6.5.
Okay.
If it was
I was-
explained to me, I bet this would be a 10 out of 10.
yeah, there's definitely points on the table here to be earned. But yeah, I was right in that 6.5 range with you as well.
Yeah. All in all, Al, good job. This one was enjoyable just to look at cards going, man, I didn't know that this card existed.
Right. He is very good at that.
Yeah. Yes, he is. Yeah, and then the next deck that I think we were sort of looking at was by one Mark Pinder.
Mm-hmm.
This deck was more of a zoo aggro deck that was just red and green.
Yep.
To me, whenever we announced this, I expected more stuff like this. If that makes any sense.
Honestly, I did too. I thought people would go more like this deck. Yeah, it's red and green, gives you the Christmas. But of the submissions we got, I think this one is more competitive, more league
Exactly.
ready. I'm not sure how to phrase that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so like I don't know, like it has like a few like on theme cards, like Scred is one that I think is pretty good, but to me this is just like red and green or Christmas colors, so I was going to submit a red and green deck.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. On the functionality part of things, this probably like blows every other deck out of the water.
Oh yeah, if we were to have a tournament with just these 4 or 5 decks, this would probably be the winner, hands down.
Yep.
Unless, like I said earlier, unless this is Mark's version of Christmas, then I am terrified.
Right. Mark, if this is what's going on at home, just reach out. We'll take care of you.
My DMs are open, buddy.
Yep. But no, jokes aside, functionality, this deck compared to the other ones is probably a 10 out of 10. Flavor-wise, it is red and green. I like that. But outside of that, I think this is more of a 4 out of 10. And I think Mark would probably agree if he was here to have this conversation alongside us.
Yeah, sure. No, I'm with you there.
Yeah. To the next deck, and one of our two winners.
One of our 2 winners. Here we go. Top
Yeah.
2.
Drum roll, please, for a Mr. Joaquim Oliver.
Mentioned Mr. Oliver quite a few times in the show already.
Yeah. And he did not disappoint with this one. He
Not at all.
gave
This is fantastic.
yeah, he gave this pretty basic elves list, or something that plays like elves, but there's also some elk thrown in to, I guess, represent deer. So like there's like Dawn Treader
Yeah,
elk.
probably the reindeer.
Yeah, so there's Dawn Treader elk to look for basic lands. There's a golden. Is that Hind? Is that how you pronounce that?
Hind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is a 2 mana, 2/1 that taps for mana.
Yep. I like the I like his use of the elk. Everybody else went with the ox or the aurochs.
Yeah. He has 12 gifts in this deck. I like that a lot. Another thing, he also has a Santa Claus represented here in Yavimaya Elder. And he also has the sleigh represented with Sky Skiff.
Yes, that was the first thing I noticed of this deck. And it's a very natural Christmas. Elks and the elder and the elves and everything produces mana. It's really well done, really well put together.
Yeah. I don't know. I will say with this, on the functionality compared to the other decks, this one's probably a 7 out of 10. And flavor-wise, it's like an 8 or 9 out of 10. And for me, that's probably why this is one of the winners, is because it was one of the better ones of like this deck could actually do something.
Yes, and it's on theme, or it's fits the rules, I guess, of the giveaway of the contest.
Yeah. So, Joaquin, great job. You continue to impress me.
Yeah, you'll probably be mentioned on this show more than this episode and the last episode.
Yeah. But now we get into our second and final winner.
Yep. Now each winner is going to get the same amount of ticks.
Yeah.
Prizes. Yeah, we would. It's not like a first and second place or anything like that. This one was sent to us via Twitter by Red or at PietroR15. Congratulations, Mr. Red. He made a Santa's Magical Workshop red and green list, and this one was my personal favorite. What did you think of this one, Christian?
I thought this one was a lot of fun. It has Ornithopter. Mannequin is...
It's full of toys. How can you go wrong?
Mannequin and Elf Replica are just perfect to me.
Right.
It much like all of the other decks has Into the North. That's great. It has Squeeze Toy, has Bonder's Ornament. This one also has a sleigh in Iron Tread Crusher. This sleigh is a little bit scarier.
Yeah, this one's a little more menacing. I'll give you that.
Yeah, but that's because I think he views Santa as more of a taskmaster. And the reason that I say that is because I think the card that's supposed to represent Santa in this list is Ogre Taskmaster.
Yes, sir. And I am a fan of that.
Yeah.
He's even in the art that Goldfish has for this card. He's leading a sleigh of war dogs or demon dogs, and he's whipping them, and they're taking him somewhere. He's got a bag full of something on the back of his sleigh.
Yeah.
His wagon, whatever that is.
I don't know. And this is an aside, I guess. One of the reasons that I really liked this deck is because this is the only one that depicts Santa for what he truly is, and that is a tyrant. But yeah, no, this one was great. We had Gift of Strength.
Hey, Christian.
Yeah?
My DMs are open if you need to chat it out with me and Mark.
Look, I have nothing against the holiday. I don't think I can say anything else after this. Thank you, Red, for being on the right side of history with this one.
Yeah, he might be onto something. Did his research, I guess, huh?
Yeah. But yeah, one more congratulations to Joaquin and Red.
Yep.
You guys can get in contact with us either through email, Twitter, Discord, any of the normal ways, and we'll make sure to get you your prizes.
Yep, absolutely. And I'm pretty sure, I know Oliver, Mr. Joaquin is for sure. I'm not totally sure about Mr. Red, but probably find both of them on MTGO. So yeah, just hit us up on Twitter or wherever you normally find us, and we'll work out the details from there.
Yeah. With our albeit brief and fun main topic out of the way, I guess we can go ahead and get into the sideboard card of the weeks.
Sure.
I'll go ahead and jump into mine first. Mine was Spell Pierce. The reason that I chose Spell Pierce is because I've always been really high on Dispel in your sideboard. And I think that some decks can leverage Spell Pierce better if they're more of the like tempo aggressive decks, like either mono blue Delver or maybe even some affinity lists that are more aggressively slanted.
Okay.
Just because like it hits a wider range of cards, and the 2 mana probably doesn't matter as much if you're trying to like close the game early. Another thing about Spell Pierce is it counters everybody's favorite enchantment. I'm not even gonna say the name.
The enchantment that shall not be named.
Yeah. But I don't know. I felt like this one was a pretty straightforward one. I don't really have much reasoning for it other than I think it's a good card that can be in the sideboard of a good deck.
Yeah, I agree. There's nothing wrong with throwing 1 or 2 in your sideboard if you think you're going to need them. 1 main board, 1 sideboard, whatever you think, honestly. That's how I kind of look at blue. I'm not a master of the islands or anything, but yeah, it's totally fine in your sideboard. It will definitely, that card alone will probably win you a game or 2 out of nowhere.
Yeah. What about you? What was your, do you have any thoughts on the sideboard card of the week?
I actually did not have a sideboard card for this week as we were talking, but I sort of got lost in the Scryfall rabbit hole. So let me throw a random card at you.
I'll take it.
Can I sell you on a creature aura enchant? It is 1 in the green enchant creature. For a single green mana, you get to regenerate the enchanted creature.
Yeah. I think the deck that I would play this in the sideboard of would probably be Infect. You throw it on one of your creatures, and then if you keep that green mana open, you can continue to dodge things like Lightning Bolt, Fiery Cannonade, and all that sort of stuff. And it can save your creature multiple times. It only costs you 1 card.
I like that. Good call.
Yeah. Yeah, but I guess that's going to do it for this episode of Common Knowledge. If you guys wanted to get in touch with us, you can find me on Twitter at JustGuyDad and Brad at Pauper_B. Or you can shoot us an email over at commonknowledgemtg@gmail.com. If you guys have any questions on the Pauper format, MTGO, or anything else, please email us or leave a comment. Thanks again to our sponsor, PureMTGO.com, as well as the Constructed Criticism Network for letting us be a part of it. And last, but certainly not least, thank you for listening. Take very good care of each other.
And never stop brewing.